We're in the airplane, fired up, ready to go for our IFR flight from Santa Barbara to Santa Maria with our filed alternate of San Luis. I've got the airplane already fired up. I haven't gotten the ATIS, haven't gotten the clearance, and I haven't filed yet. So I'm going to go ahead and file the flight plan right now. We're doing this flight on PilotEdge, so I need to go to Safari and actually file the flight plan on here very specifically. So I'm going to go ahead and put my password in, and we're going to file the flight plan. So in this case, this is a IFR flight plan. Tail number 387 Sierra Papa, Cessna 172, slant Golf. Now this is something that you do on PilotEdge only. This particular flight plan filing. In the real world, you use ForeFlight or something different. In the real world, they stopped using things like slant Golf, slant Alpha. But on here is what we got because of the nature of the simulation. But still, way better than flying without ATC. I highly recommend you use PilotEdge for all of your flight sim training. It's live air traffic control, professionally trained, exceptionally good. Departure point, SBA to KSMX. Cruise altitude 6,000. Alternate KSBP. The route of flight is going to be Flout 5, San Marcos, and that's going to be that. And we do have custom weather that we're going to be using. It's going to be good. We're going to follow the flight plan. Flight plan is filed. Good to go. So I filed my flight plan on the PilotEdge network, and we are ready to go ahead and get the ATIS and get our clearance. The plates for all my frequencies, ATIS 132.65. Let's see what they're doing. That's the other radio, my bad. 132.65.
Santa Barbara Mon Information X-ray. 2200 Zulu weather. Wind 260 at 8, visibility 1. Sky conditions 1100 overcast, temperature 22, dew point 20. Altimeter 3001. Arriving runway 25, departing runway 25. Advise on initial contact you have X-ray. Santa Barbara Mon Information X-ray. 2200 Zulu weather. Wind 260 at 8, visibility 1. Sky conditions 1100 overcast, temperature 22, dew point 20. Altimeter 3001. Arriving runway.
We got the ATIS information X-ray. That looks good. Since we're using custom weather on the PilotEdge network, we are going to tell them that we have information Zulu. So I'm going to mark that out on here. That is simply something that you would do on PilotEdge, not necessarily in the real world. In the real world, report the ATIS that you have, but since we're using different weather than real weather, we tell them that we have a different ATIS. It's very easy. So get that in. I'm going to go ahead and load up the ATIS frequency for the next airport, just so I can have that in, ready to go. That frequency is going to be 121.15. Had that ready to go. 121.15 in my number 2 radio. Perfect. And 121.5, the guard frequency, the emergency frequencies, and my active monitoring on number 2, ready to go. Let's go back up here to my departure. So in this case, ATIS, we got that. Clamps delivery 132.9. We'll go ahead and get that.
The option.
Runway 26 clear for the option, November 68.
Scratch pad, get ready for that clearance. I know I'm going to Santa Maria, so we'll put that in. SMX via Flout 5, San Marcos.
Mayo Tower, November 683.
Probably going to get
touching Go runway
6,000.
26, we will depart into the north.
683, roger, on the go, right turn out approved.
Go right traffic approved, back November 6th.
I'm putting in the frequencies and things that I think I'm going to get, and the rest of it will be up to the controller. So we'll go and call them now. Santa Barbara clearance, Skyhawk 387 Sierra Papa information Zulu, and for IFR to Santa Maria.
Sierra Papa, Santa Barbara clears clear to the Santa Maria Airport, Flight 5 departure, San Marcos transition, and then direct. Climb by acidic, set maintain 3000, spec 6000, 5 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 120.55, squawk 7071.
387 Sierra Papa cleared to Santa Maria, Flight 5, San Marcos direct, climb B6, set maintain 3000, expect 6005, 20.55, 7071.
7 Sierra Papa, read back correct.
Thank you.
Long Beach Tower, Phoenix 69 Kilo Juliet, have requesting frequency change.
9 Kilo Juliet, Connect SoCal departure.
All right, turning the radio volume down just a little bit, and we will plug all of this in. All right, so 7071's our SWAT code. Altitude mode. And the volume down a little more for the radios. That looks good. So plan B6 and maintain 3000. Which, if you look at the procedure said to really, honestly, it's kind of hard on this one. On this one, there's not really a climb via. It would just be maintain 3000. The only climb via, I guess that would be in there, is that you've got the 6000 that we have to be at by this point. But if we do lose comms, we would go to that anyway. But in this case, it said maintain 3000, so that's what we're going to do. So I'm okay with that. All right. That's good. So 3000. 121.7 is the frequency for ground. And tower frequency is 119.7. It's good to go. Now, we do have SAID in use, which means we have to operate in altitude mode on a transponder, which I do have currently set up. So that's good to go. Got my GPS up. So GPS procedure. Select departure. Cloud 5. Runway 825, which we're requesting. San Marcos. I like that. Hit load. And then from there, let's load in the airport we're going to, which is SBA-SMX. That. That's good. There's this one, there's that. Unsuspend. That looks good. Alright, here we go. And then my number 2. I don't really need that for anything. I'm just going to go ahead and delete this float plan. Get that out of my way. This thing should cross-fill. But I'm not quite sure why it's not doing that, but that's okay. We're just going to leave that like it is, and we'll just do that on a map or something like that. There we go. So I like that up there. That's good. Now, one thing that I'm going to do just to make sure that I have it, is I like to plug in the route to my alternate airport as a saved part of my flight plan. That is pretty nifty, something that you can do. And the way that you would do that, I'm going to show it to you here. For purposes of this video, I'm just going to plug it in manually for this flight. But let's say I did that. Let's say I did not do it manually. What I would do is I would press a menu and save flight plan right here. Or actually, I can cross-fill it to the next one, which is nice. Let's do that. Cross-fill. Let's see if it does. Well, it looks like that cross-fill did not do what I wanted it to do. That's okay. I'll change that back up again. So we have time to do this now. I guess we're doing it. So my alternate flight plan would have been the Guadalupe VOR to Morro Bay to the airport, my alternate, which is San Luis Obispo. I'm just going to plug in Morro Bay, MQO. And plug in the next airport, KSBP. Load that in there. That's good. Clear up that waypoint. That's good. Menu, save flight plan. And that should be on our next page where it shows the save flight plans in the FMS catalog. Let's do it. We'll save that. Now we're going to figure out this flight plan and put in the original one that we wanted. Let's just figure out this one. Yes. Figure out this one. Yes. Santa Barbara to Santa Maria to SBA-SMX. That's good. Citation approach. I like that, and then I'll activate the approach once I get cleared for it. I did not want to do it incorrectly. That all looks good through there. Now, on the second device here under flight plan, I should be able to press menu and cross-fill. There we go. Perfect. They cross-filled into that one. So that's perfectly good. That's exactly what I wanted. Perfect. So we'll leave that down there, ready to go for that. All right. So our initial course on this one is going to be 197. So that's what I'm going to plug in up here. 197, which is right about here. Perfect. We'll fly that up, and in the meantime, the port diagram's there. I'm ready to go ahead and copy my taxi instructions. I think I'm going to get Foxtrot and Bravo 1. So I'll be ready for that. You can even tap it right here if I want to and just type in what I'm going to get. But I'll write it as I need to. Santa Barbara ground, Scout 387 Sierra Papa, north of transient GA parking by Charlie on the east side, looking for runway 25. Foxtrot Bravo, runway 25, 37 Sierra. Okay, that's what I had written down. So I expected. So we're good. We'll go with that. Checklists are all completed. Let's go. Rudder pedals are a little bit funny on this one. Gotta hold short of the runway. There we go. That's better. Sometimes the rudders can be a little bit finicky. You gotta watch for that. Okay, very good. Tower frequency is plugged in, ready to go, and departure frequency is 120.55. That's ready to go. Our initial departure heading would be runway heading to 400, and then we would turn left to intercept that departure course. I'm going to plug in maybe the southeast heading, just to give me something to go with here. So we'll just say something like this, 140. We'll go with that for now.
Good afternoon, cross Quang at and maintain 4,000 Santa Barbara altimeter 3000.
Same heading to compass, that's good. Altimeter, that's good. Slid there.
4,000 in Quang.
Very good. Like that. All right. Cool. I think we're ready to go. So, take off checklist. Before taking off checklist, flap texture and the lights. Let's do it there. Everything's set up. Switch. Controls, free brect. Everything's good to go. All right, we are perfect. We're going to go ahead and call for takeoff class. Tower, Santa Barbara Tower, 387 Sierra Papa. Hold short runway 25, ready to go IFR.
387 Sierra Papa, Santa Barbara Tower, runway 25, clear for takeoff at 26012.
Clear for takeoff, runway 25, 387 Sierra Papa. All right, we are clear to go. So let's get out of here. Please park and brake, clear left, clear right. My departure pitch profile would just be a VY climb, 74 knots, about 8 to 10
Approaching
degrees.
runway 25. Entered runway 25, 6,000 feet remaining.
That's perfect. Right. There's full power. Engine gauge is in the green. Maintain that center line. Airspeed's alive. 55 knots. Rotate. There we go. Positive rate. Pitching through the UI climb. We'll be in the soup really soon. Pitching 400 feet.
San Luis ground,
to the
Cherokee
left.
3572 Mike with Golf. Request taxi for a south departure for a Cat 4 rating.
3572 Mike, San Luis ground, okay, where you parked?
There's 400 AGL.
3572 Mike
And we
on the west
turn
side ramp.
3572
to
Mike,
the
ground,
left.
runway 25, taxi by Bravo.
Up to 3,000 feet.
3572 Mike.
70 Papa, connect departure.
Departure 70 Pop. Departure is there. Santa Barbara departure 387 Sierra Papa.
Caution,
800,
inside
flying
TFR.
Between 3,000.
387 Papa, SoCal for Santa Barbara departure to contact, climb maintain 6,000.
6,000. 387 Sierra Papa. I'm going to level my wings right here. I'm going to go into heading mode. Pilot's holding everything for me. I'm going to zoom in on that GPS. It's giving us an intercept course to join. So what we're going to do is we're just going to let the GPS fly that. So we're going to tap nav twice, and now it's going to follow that pink line. Everything looks wonderful.
09 Bravo Echo Joey clearance clear to the Catalina Airport after departure, flighting 175. Expect radar vectors.
We're going to let it fly
Caution,
out.
TFR below.
Direct. 18 5000, expect 6,000, 5 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 128.1, squawk 3605.
Clear,
Turn the ATC volume down just a little bit. But we're going to set the vertical speed mode to 500 feet per minute. And the reason for that is that or maybe like 600. What that's going to do is that's going to keep us away at this altitude range from getting into a low speed situation. We don't want that. So 500 or 600 down at sea level should give us around 80, 85, which is perfectly good for cruise climb. But I'm still going to have to watch my vertical speed and my airspeed together to make sure that neither of them are struggling. Because if my airspeed starts to struggle, then I could stall. and that's not okay. That's why you should normally not use vertical speed mode in a climb. However, it's all I have in this autopilot. So I'd much rather have something and watch it than nothing and have to hand fly and be overworked. There's 3,000, looking for 6. So at this point, it's very simple. We're going to go all the way out to Flout. And then from there, turn back around. Bring the ATC volume back up a little bit. Above 3,000, beginning to lean some. Max RPM. That's good. Kupa looks good. Temperatures are climbing, but it'll be okay. $4,000, climbing 6,000. So it's pretty boring right now. That's pretty normal. We're gonna get that in this procedure, but we just gotta wait until we get out to Flout and turn back around. While frustrating, it does guarantee that we're going to skip the terrain. And that's something I really want. Now, at this point, could I get direct San Marcos? Could I request that? Could I? Yes, I could. But in this case, I'm gonna follow the full procedure. We are. Looks like we're above that layer. That's nice. Looks like we're about to turn here in about a minute, maybe a minute or two. I'm up on 5,000. 5,000. Number 6. Temperatures are good. No risk of freezing. 1,000 to go. Just want to get the weather estimation, see how it's doing. Might be able to reach it from here. Let's see. I'm not picking it up yet. I'll just hit the AWAS and see what they're giving. Airports, walking that, Santa Maria. You can read it right here, or if you go back to the airports tab, it does show right here in that tab the weather like at a glance. 30013, visibility 10, 302. Yeah, it's not bad. Of course, we're showing we have it set up to different weather right now, which is totally fine. We got 300 feet to go before we get to 6,000. The airplane has started its turn. So we're going to watch that carefully. The GPS here on X-Plane 11 decided to do something a little bit weird there, but that's okay. It's going to get us on the course, and there's no rule as to why we can't do that. We got 100 feet to go. We got to watch for that. 100 feet to go. Preparing to capture our altitude. And right about now, we've got our altitude captured. Autopilot goes up just a little bit and it comes back down. 370 Bravo. We've got the weather over at Santa Maria. Like the localizer taking back course Alpha from San Marcos.
70 Papa, Roger, cross San Marcos at 4,000 with localizer taking back course Alpha. Chief expect circle A30.
Cross San Marcos 6,000 clear for the localizer back course Alpha. Circle 370. Beautiful. We're clear for the approach, which means once we cross San Marcos, we will be allowed to fly the approach. So I can go ahead and activate that leg to San Marcos, but I need to make sure first, before I do that I am direct to San Marcos, because I don't want to activate it twice. You'll see what I mean possibly here in a second. Once I get on this line I'm established, then I'll go ahead and plug in direct San Marcos, because that gives me continuity. I like continuity. We like continuity, guys. We love it.
And the main right traffic and the reporting field and the working maker.
And they're going to be left traffic too.
Left traffic and the reporting field and the working maker.
9 Kilo Juliet is 360 Atlantic. Confirm. 9 Kilo Juliet. Roger, Charlie Atlantic.
Cool. We are pretty much direct San Marcos now, so I'm going to go to flight plan. And what I can do is I can just go direct to San Marcos right here, and that will do everything that I wanted it to do. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Now I could, delete some of these waypoints up here, and then that would pretty much do the same thing. In fact, I could try that, see what it does. Go to clear. Let me clear this one out as well. And then what that does is after this point, I automatically go to San Marcos. Right now, this particular DV point here, that's simply referencing that thing on the chart earlier that we saw that showed right here, that's 6,000 feet. That's about 14 miles out. So the simulator, it paints that for us. I don't really want to go to that necessarily. I could delete that, to be quite honest with you, like this, and then just go direct San Marcos, like this, and now I'm pretty much doing the same exact thing that I was doing a moment ago. So now I'm direct San Marcos, effectively on the approach. So that's good. After San Marcos, my waypoint sequencing should put me at Madu, which if I zoom out, appears to be correct. So Madu is afterwards. So now it's all good. Everything's happy. Centering my heading bug. Thinking ahead, what do we need to do next? Let's brief this approach again, make sure we know what we're doing. So approach is right here. Already saved. 108.9. Is in there.
Santa Maria Tower, enter left down runway 30 report pitches. Left downwind runway 30 report field, 3 show closing. Hey your dog, I say hi. 90 about 5, leaving 6,000 flight 5,000. I'm Bravo, I can connect with them. Stop approaching 9,000. Stop approaching with channel 109 Bravo, airport 3,500, 5,000, heading 175. Turn 9 Bravo, I can propel search, we're in contact, maintain 6,000. Monday, 6,090 Bravo.
This is important to remember on this approach, is the altitudes that you cross it at. It's very critical. Sounds familiar with that. That all looks pretty good. Let's monkey with our mixture a little bit. Try to get the most out of the airplane when we can. Looks like it's going to be about there, I think. Everything's been beautiful. We've got 2 minutes and 47 seconds till San Marcos. We'll stay at 6,000. Then once we cross Madu, which will be 15 miles after that, then we'll start down. Now, right now, our ground speed is 140, which is pretty good for this airplane. A pretty good tailwind.
Bravo Echo, correct, Santa Catalina, VMR. Direct Santa Catalina, west, 90 Bravo.
Here you go. I love how the ForeFlight dynamic procedure shows up here as well. It's very nice. Just now lays it all out for you. You can see all your notes, everything. It's very nice. Each step down that you got, it's all listed right there. You can go up here to the flight plan, the profile, and at the approach, you can see I'm about to get to San Marcos. Here on the approach. When it does that, you see these step downs start to happen over here, which is really nifty. So I can actually use that on this flight to help ensure that I'm not going to bust any altitudes. Very nice feature to use.
Interior clearance, good evening, November 613, Papa Mike, IFR to Bullhead International. 613, Papa Mike, interior clearance, scheduled Bullhead Airport, Raji, 4 departure, meatball transitions, file, flying by Citation 718, 4000. Departure frequency 135,
There we go. We just crossed San Marcos inbound to Madu, which means we've got about 6 minutes and 30 seconds according to the ETE until we are ready to descend to 4,600. The course for this leg is 288, so we'll change that up here to 288. Not about there. That's correct. We'll change our heading as well. Somewhere around there. And my GPS down here is showing some different things, and that's okay. We're going to cross-fill that. So flight plan. Flight plan, menu, cross-fill.
Bravo Echo connects.
Doing good. 6.5 minutes until we're ready to start down. And once we start down, we still have another 4 miles from 6,000 to 4,600. Just plenty of room. That's a little bit, yeah, that's totally fine. Let's drop down pretty quick. Use our non-precision approach numbers.
1090 Bravo Echo 6,000 will have a number and Catalina Airport.
109 Bravo Echo, SoCal Treasure,
Request the Bill Wire Bravo to approach from Santa Catalina Bill
Bravo Echo, Roger, across Santa Catalina at or above 4,000. Here's BOR, TME Bravo.
Cross Santa Catalina Bill at above 4,000, clear for Bill Bravo approach. Pano 90 Bravo Echo.
Looks like weather is pretty good now along the whole route in the real world. Of course, here on the simulator, we're going to simulate that it's IMC. But there's not really much to do right now, guys. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I'm going to go ahead and find this plate, get out of our way. Just stay right here with it. Our 4 minutes to Madu. One 124.15. 387 trouble. 124.15. 2415. Transfer it over. 2 minutes till Madu. I'll call him up in a moment. Next frequency is going to be Tower 18.3. Load that in right now. 18.3. Fantastic. Santa Barbara approach 387, so about 6,000. Nobody. So right now we pretty much just stay board for a few minutes until we hit Madu, and it's time to descend. The leg from Madu to Cokes is 14.1 miles. So plenty of room to descend. I'm not really sure what this up here was saying earlier when I said that it was only 4 miles from here to here. See, there's like 10.1 or 4. Must be some sort of ForeFlight glitch. But still helpful, nonetheless. We can back up here, we still have that Airmat Sierra mountain obscuration. So the weather at St. Louis is broken 3100. That's okay. I'm sure we'll be fine. But yeah, I'm telling you guys, this not descending before Madu is what fails a lot of people on the I-10 rating, the PilotEdge. And a lot of real-world pilots probably do that as well. They forget that they're not supposed to descend until they get to Madu, which I know it's easy to miss. It's just right there, tiny little section of the plate. But this is why you have to read your entire approach plate. You can't just make assumptions. Assumptions will kill you. Don't do assumptions, it's bad.
Cherokee 3572 Mike there, 30 at Alpha 5. 17 Roger Alpha, Ramsey Street. I'll switch to the ramp, thanks. 3272 Mike.
So we got a couple seconds before we cross it. Once we cross it, we'll descend into 4600. There we go. Just crossed it. Time to descend.
Ontario ground, November 613, Papa Mike, ready for taxi with currently from the Guardian jet center.
We will descend at 600 feet per minute and leave the power where it is, except we'll bring our power back to 2650 slightly, just to make sure we don't overspeed the engine. Now, at a rate of 600 feet per minute, 1 minute will be 600 feet, 2 minutes will be 1200 feet. We're looking to lose 1,400, so just over 2 minutes. That's how long we'll be descending. That's important to know so that we don't lose track of it and get distracted. Pulling my power back just slightly to keep it off a red line. I like increasing my speed during the descent if possible. It improves engine cooling, gets me to my destination faster, and it's fine. It's just an overall good time. 5,400 descending, 4,600. Go. Looks like the localizer is coming alive. The ISMX on the 530. You can see that on the left-hand side of the 530. One last look at my approach plate to make sure I haven't missed anything. I've got 300 feet to go. The minimums for this approach are at 1100. So I should probably write that down. 1100. MDA. That's important. 200 feet to go. 100 feet above. I'll push it right above. There we go. Now I might dip below that altitude for just a moment when it comes back up to it. Now when it comes to the MDA, I won't push it on the button. I won't push the button on the altitude. I'll push it 20, 30, 40 feet above it and then carefully fine-tune the altitude back down using the autopilot. Power settings good, 2600. And yeah, we're getting close to Cokes. Just a few miles from Cokes. I'll flip to heading mode and then go to the VLOC. My GPS is suggesting that I turn.
Destination ATIS is 121.15.
To be perfectly honest with you, it looks like it's trying to have me turn slightly It might not be on the proper course. I'm not really sure what it's trying to do there, but that's okay. We're just going to keep doing what we're doing right now and then intercept the localizer.
Tower, November 83 and 10 miles north of the ATC field. Request cross traffic with information tango.
If you notice on the GPS, it says Madu to Delta-10. That is a sim-ism, as we call it. That's something that you're not going to see in the real world. Because of that, it shows that our course to Cokes is slightly off. You see the course from D10 to Cokes is slightly to the right. Not really quite sure what it's doing there. But right now, we are on a 286 track, which is correct. It's what we're supposed to be doing. So I'm not entirely sure what it's trying to do, but either way, we're only a few miles from Cokes, so I believe what we're going to do here is go ahead and intercept the back course. Yeah, I'm only 5 miles from Cokes, so I'm going to keep my heading bug centered. I'm going to activate heading mode, and I'm going to go over to VLOC. And in VLOC, I should have a clear idea of what's happening. I'm going to leave my number 2 GPS in CDI mode. That way, or on GPS mode, I'm sorry. That way I'll have a much better visualization of what's going on. So after Cokes, I go to 3000 until Camco. Now my needle is beginning to move in. I am the needle when I'm flying a back course approach. I am the needle. So I'll need to be reminded of that. The approach course here is 300, so I'm going to bug that. There we go. We'll let the autopilot fly this procedure. We use the reverse mode. Back course is starting to come in. Remember, I am the needle, so I'm trying to come to the left. That's good. I want that. I need that. Starting to come in. It's good. And we'll take our heading bug and spin it over here to 300. And then we'll go ahead and press the reverse mode. Now it should follow that all on its own. And it looks like it's going to, which is wonderful. We got a little bit of wind aloft, so I'll set my heading back here. My heading is 290, but my track is a 300, so I'm doing a bit of wind, which is totally acceptable. Okay, I have crossed Cokes. I can go down to 3000 to Camco. I will bring my power back a couple hundred RPM to help me slow down. And we'll start on down. VS, let's go 500 feet per minute. I do have 6 miles to lose 1,600 feet, so I need to come down a little faster than that actually. So let's go down to 700 feet per minute. Bring the power back a little bit more. So I'm a little bit to the left, of course, so we can come to the right. Time to the tower 18.3. Thank you. Seems right. And become a little bit to the right. For some reason, the heading bug on the simulator somehow mildly affects the approach accuracy. I don't know why, but it does happen. Santa Maria Tower is 3870 popping out inbound.
Class Delta below in 5.4 miles.
Heading straight in runway 30, clear land 370. full land checklists, mixtures coming up. I'm at 3,800, looking for 3,000. I got 3 miles of Camco. Approach course is looking pretty good. I like the fact that I have my number 2 down here set up on GPS, so I can track that to help me visualize a little better of what I'm supposed to be doing. 3,500, looks good. Under 100 knots, good. 2.5 miles to go. I'm going to go with approach flaps. So speed checks, flaps 10. Grab onto the yoke to make sure it doesn't balloon up. Balloon a little bit. I corrected it. That should get me around 90 knots, which is what I'm looking for. $200 feet to go. After Camco at 3,000. My next altitude is going to be Pater at 1,720. There's that altitude. Level off a little bit above. That's okay. Power back to 2,300, which is my level approach setting. Even for 90 knots, a little bit slow. Correcting. What you guys can do to help you memorize the numbers for this approach is to write them down like 6, 4.6. Like here, write down 3, and say, 1.7, and then, 1,100 MBA. Something like that. It's a good little quick reference to have so you don't forget your altitude is supposed to go to.
Approaching panel 109 for Echo on ground. I have a couple problems later, but I'm on cancel on ground.
Bravo, Roger, cancellation.
Okay, moving down to Pater now. It's time to descend. So vertical speed mode goes down. Let's go 700 feet per minute. Power back. I'm looking for 1,720. Go down to say, 1,800 or something just to be safe. But a little bit above 1750 is what we're looking for. Right now we're at 2,800. We got 3 miles per 1,000 feet. So we should be pretty good. Get a little bit lighter needle to the center. That's wonderful. Ring frequency is 121.9. I'm going to plug that in. But I do know that I'm going to be going west just from earlier, so I'm just going to leave this in here like that. It's 2,300. Continuing descent. I've got 2.5 miles to lose, 500 feet. There's plenty of room, especially at this descent rate. Let's approach straight out to 2,100 to Guadalupe and hold. 2,100 now, looking for 1,720. Then after that, I'm looking for 1,100.
3 mile final runway 30.
Things looking pretty good. Just gotta stay ahead of it. There's 1,800. Looking for 1,720. A level out right here. About to go below 1,720 at power about the 2,300. Got 1 mile to go. 2,300 gets me close to 90. I'm at 85 now. It gets a little more power to help me out there. Gauges look good. Before line check this is complete. Half a mile. So Pater. And then I go down to 1,100. And from there, wait for the missed approach point. And we're almost to Pater. That says 1.5, I'll be there. And there we are. Vertical speed, let's go down. 700 feet per minute, or 600 works too. Power back. 2,000, 2,100. And for 1,100.
SoCal approach November 6 Wind Street, Papa Mike, 14,000. Street Papa Mike, SoCal departure to contact, climb up 18, flight level 19ers.
That a little bit steeper, I believe.
Climb maintain flight level 19er, 06 Street Papa Mike.
Looking for 1,100, don't see anything yet. I'm about half a mile from my missed approach point. I don't see anything. I'm gonna level at right here. No, we don't see nothing. Alright, there's an MDA, there's a missed approach point. We can't make it, so we have to go missed. No full power. Disconnect the autopilot. We're gonna climb straight out. So just pitch on out just like this. Looks good. Hand flying, cleaning up the airplane. And trimming for a climb. And that's okay. Coming straight out. Everything's looking good. My heading is already set. I'm above 800 feet. I'll go and go to heading mode and vertical speed. Start myself in a climb. I'm okay with that. Now we're going to activate the missed approach, which is there, and we'll go CDI and GPS steering. Now it's going to fly us in the missed approach procedure. 2,100 is what we're looking for.
26.35.
Call in departure. Tower 387 Sierra Papa is going missed approach.
7 Sierra Papa, roger. Execute missed approach procedures to connect Santa Barbara.
As published and 2415. Thanks, Senator. Alright. Over to departure. We got 100 feet to go before we level out. I'll make sure I get leveled out there before I kind of departure just to make sure I'm okay. There's the altitude, press altitude mode. Stay there. Kind of get established. You've got about 4 miles until you start to hold. So that's all there, ready to go. There's some time back just to slow the plane down. And we'll climb up. So we're all cleaned up, we're all good.
Grade 449, cleared from San Diego Bravo airspace, reaching IFR south.
We'll do a lap in the hold, and then we'll divert.
Clear for Bravo airspace, maintaining 3,500, April for tonight.
Departure, 387 Sierra Papa, 2,100 on the missed exit area.
387 Sierra Papa, Santa Barbara, approach hello again, continue on publish missed. I can take your attention whenever you're ready to continue.
I'll let you know after a couple laps. 387 Sierra Papa.
Roger, don't continue.
Oh, it's too late for that. Alright, so the plan right now is to execute a lap in this hold with the autopilot out for us. Let's quickly debrief that approach and missed approach. So on the missed approach, or on the approach I should say, we got down to the MDA. Notice how quickly that happened. Very quickly. So next time on this procedure, I would suggest diving down quite a bit more. So you've got only 1.5 miles from Payer to the missed approach point, which is not very much at all. So next time I would have gone down at a much steeper rate to come in more stable. That's probably what I would have done. The GPS is going to hold parallel for us. That's perfect. Let it do its thing. So I would have done that. Second thing is on the mist, I did the correct thing. I would fly the plane first. Cram, climb, clean, cool call. So in this case, cram, disconnect the autopilot, cram power forward, get the airplane climbing, make sure we're stable, and to climb straight out. Then clean up, got rid of my flaps, and I cool down. Okay, do I like everything? Is it doing what I want to do? Cool. Then I made sure that my navigator was navigating, so I went back to, actually I did my autopilot first. Once I was stable, heading bug centered, heading, climb, and let go. It clears my mind so I can think back to my GPS. And I switched the CVI back to GPS and pushed the OBS button so it would unsuspend me. And that means that my course back to Guadalupe was locked in and we're good to go. There was mild technique error there, but overall, we got the job done. Now I'm in the hold. Now in the real world, if I was in this hold right now, I'd be considering a couple things. One of the things that I would be considering would be going ahead and putting in my next flight plan, maybe on the number 2 GPS. I can frost still back to the number 1. That works fine. Now I'm trying to see what exactly this thing's going to do in the hole. Is it going to start turning me or not? The ETE says 0. Is it going to turn me, or am I going to have to ask it real nicely? There it goes. It is turning me. So it is doing a parallel entry. That's perfect. The GPS in the simulator does have a couple differences and errors than the one in the real world does, but this one, it gets the job done. Look at messages, same thing I saw earlier. I'm going to go to my number 2 and set up my next flight plan. Let's see if it's going to be there. So let's go to flight plan menu. Let's go to, I'm sorry, that's the wrong button actually, it's my bad. Flight plan. Hold on a second. Flight plan clear. There we go. Now little knob. Perfect. And I had that one saved. So we go down to this one. We hit enter. And now my direct to Morro Bay is loaded, ready to go. So what I'm going to make happen is go to procedures, select approach, and let's plug in the VOR Alpha from Morro Bay. That's set up. I can go ahead and activate that approach. If I activate it, then it's going to take me direct Morro Bay. So once I cross-fill this back to the number 1, we're good. We're good as gold. So I like what I'm seeing there. Let's check out some stuff over here real quick. Alright, cool. So to fly this procedure correctly, as far as PilotEdge is concerned, I will need to do a full lap of the hold, not just the entry, but one full lap. So I'm going to let this airplane do one full lap, and then we'll go from there. I will go ahead and tell the controller what I want to do next, just so he can be fully aware of that. And while I do that, I can brief my plates on ForeFlight. So we'll go ahead and take care of that right now. Approach 387 Sir Papa, we're going to do one full lap here in the hold. And then once we cross the VOR again, we'd like to divert to San Luis Obispo via Morro Bay for the VOR approach.
387 Sierra Papa, Roger, climb 18.
4,000, 387 Sir Papa. Vertical speed, full power set, and let's increase the climb. 500 feet per minute will be just fine for us. While that's loading, let's go back to our next procedure, which I already have saved in the plates, which is why I highly recommend you guys use the plates function on ForeFlight. Very, very, very helpful. So we're going to go direct to Morro Bay. He gave us 4,000, which is kind of what I expected. Then from there, we'll do a course reversal. Come back in, 3,500, down to 28, 17, minimum's 1120. And circle. I'll write all that stuff down. So MDA 11 20 MDA. Go out at 3.5. Out. Go 2.8 in. From here to here, we're going to say 1.7, and then SBA. Perfect. We're done. Excellent.
34429, connect Lumber Tower 1.3.
Airplane's still climbing okay. No speed problems.
Tower 84429.
Listen.
70 Bob, right from San Luis Airport by direct Morro Bay, VMware direct, VT 4000.
Cleared to San Luis Obispo Airport via a direct Morro Bay, direct, maintain 4,000. And do you want us to go direct now or once we finish this lap?
70 Bob, up to you. Did you want to finish that lap?
Not really. I'm ready to go there now. After 37 Bravo.
I don't blame you. Okay, good.
Direct to Morro Bay, 37 Bravo. So now that I've got that, I need to click my fingers. Let's go to flight plan, menu, crossfill, enter, and then I gotta fix this. I had a little issue. Let's go direct there. GPS. That's when I start turning in a second. I'm supposed to. 37 Bravo. We're trying to turn now. The autopilot just gives full travel to standby. All right, let's go back to heading mode. Turn the airplane to the right, back to where I want it to go. Not quite sure why that wasn't taking me direct like it's supposed to. Sometimes the simulator could give you a couple little issues like that, and it's frustrating when it happens, but you still have to maintain control of the airplane. So we're going to turn the airplane to a heading towards Morro Bay. I'm going to go ahead and load this up again and see if I can make it do what I want it to do. Select approach, VOR Alpha, Morro Bay. Let's go to activate, and that will do the same job for me. I'm in GPS mode, so GPS steering. And it should turn me correctly. Is it going to do it? Or is it going to be confused? I've got 200 feet to go for my climb. I don't know what it's doing that for. We're going to go in heading mode for now. But in the meantime, we'll use heading mode and we'll level up at 4,000 and then we'll figure it out from there. Some sort of weird issue, I'm not sure what's happening. It would not happen in the real world in this GPS. That's okay. There's our altitude. We'll level off right here. There's the button. Leveling off on our altitude. Now let's investigate. It might have something to do with the crossfill. I'm not entirely sure, but that's all right. We can always use the VOR and just go direct to it that way if we had to. The Morro Bay frequency is 112.4. So I'm going to go ahead and plug that in. I've got it there, ready to go. We're going to navigate to the VOR using that for the moment. So we've got 19 miles out. Switch my CDI to VLOC, and I'm going to switch this to on a direct to Morro Bay. Something along these lines. And we're going to hit nav to make it follow that. I'm going to bring my heading bug over here to the right to about somewhere around there. And that should help get the job done. So that should get me pointed in the right direction for the moment. In the meantime, let's see if we can fix this. So I'm going to go to my number 2 radio and go to menu. Let's just delete the whole flight plan. Not sure what's happening. Maybe there's some sort of cross-fill error. Just leave that. Let's go to number 1. Let's delete the whole flight plan there as well. Menu, delete flight plan. Go from there. Now let's plug in the airport we want to go to, KSBP. This should not have happened, but for some reason it did. That's okay. I have enough brain cells available right now to work on this. I got plenty of time. So 20 miles at 110 knots. That'll be able to work out. And then let's go to procedures. Select approach, VOR Alpha via Morro Bay VOR, and let's load it and see what's happening. So under flight plan, to go, it says procedure turn. That should say Morro Bay at the top. That's a known glitch in X-Plane that I'm aware of and okay with for now. So we may have to honestly apply this full procedure using the VOR, which honestly wouldn't be bad practice if we're being entirely honest with each other. So I might just do that. I'm going to give it one more chance to see if I can get it to work correctly, and then we'll go from there. So let's try this one more time. Looking at ForeFlight, you can still see where I am on the map.
Crossmore Bay at 4,000, cleared VOR Alpha approach circle.
Crossmore Bay at 4,000, cleared VOR Alpha approach circle 29387 Sierra Bravo. Let's see what happens here. If I go direct to this, what's it going to try to do? Direct to Morro Bay, which is what it shows there. If I press activate and then, push the cursor and go out to flight plan, it should take me direct there. I mean, you guys agree with that, right? So if I press CDI, let's see what happens. CDI, I'm in GPS, and go to GPS steering. Is it going to do it? It looks like it's doing it now. I'm not quite sure why it was so confused earlier. But, I mean, you can see it's doing it now. It is working correctly. So who knows? But there we go. That's what we got. So on my number 2 radio, I'm going to go use VLOC on net just to have it ready to go. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to monitor at the proper radials on my number 2 and fly it on the GPS on my number 1, which is legal. As long as you have an overlay or some sort of monitoring of the primary navigation, you're good to go. So I'm going to attempt this. Our final approach course inbound is 084. So I'm just going to plug 084 in on this one. And that'll be our final approach course. And that's pretty good. I got plenty of fuel. Cruising along, fat, dumb, and happy. And that's great. So we'll stay there doing that. Back to plates. I'll leave this procedure up like it is. Heading Bucket Center. All right, about 2 minutes from Morro Bay. This looks pretty good for me. We're going to let the GPS and autopilot fly this full procedure and then monitor it on the number 2 VLOC. tower frequency down here is a 124.0. I should go and put that in there now. We do now want to do later. And the weather over here is something I have not gotten yet. I am aware that it is pretty lousy. But let's just give it a quick look and see what we got going on. Weather, so 120.6.
San Luis County Region Information Yankee 000 Zulu weather. Wind 260 and 8. Visibility 2. Sky conditions 1100 overcast. Temperature 2.19. Altimeter 3001. Arriving runways 2925. Departing runways 2925. Advise on initial contact. You have Yankee.
Alright. That looks good. The clouds are at the MDA according to this, which is not great, but we'll give her a shot. Visibility is good though, 2 miles, I can work with that. Can definitely work with that. And we're turning. Autopilot's trying to do something weird. That's a problem. Sometimes the X-plane GPS can get a little bit confused. So you gotta watch that sometimes. We can descend to 3,500 at this point, which is what we'll do. Vertical speed. Let's go down. 500 feet a minute. Power back. This has been a long flight. I'm excited to get on the ground. This up here, top of mind, top of me. About 100 feet to go. Always synchronize your heading bug. There's your altitude. Look at that right there. Fantastic.
Papa Mike, connect LA Center 134.65.
Looks like it's starting us on that procedure turn, which is wonderful. On the inbound, that procedure turn will go to 2,800, 3,500 now. Now it's only a mile and a half between Sinox and Marnd, which is the airport. 1,700 minus 1,100 is 600. So you're a mile and a half to lose 600 feet.
613 Papa Mike, LA Center, can you take descent pilot's discretion, maintain 12000, full head altimeter, 206
So my heading is 084, so I know what's coming next. Right now we're flying this in plane configuration, and on my flap handle for some reason keeps showing that weird indication, but the flap indicator is actually up. We're just going to let the GPS do that for us. We've also got this feature in ForeFlight, which is really nice. Still have this set up on the previous flight plan, which is totally fine.
Destination ATC 12.
Procedures while this is on autopilot and flying itself. To approach Vior Alpha, Morro Bay, category AS fine. Activate all that. And then I can go ahead and just activate this leg right here by holding on to it. And say fly leg. That's what I'm currently doing. Then I go to profile and approach. You can see what I'm doing out here. It's going to show my step downs, which is really nice. I shouldn't need to do 2 minutes out here on this, but it is in fact what it's doing, and I'm okay with that right now. Just let it fly it, just let it do its thing. Normally this would be a 1 minute procedure, not a 2 minute, but as long as you do a course reversal, that's okay. And as long as you remain within 10 miles of the airport, that's okay too. Or not 10 miles of the airport, I'm sorry, 10 miles of the VOR. Should stop turning in a moment. Should start making a nice little left turn. Is it going to do it? Will we be surprised? It's confused us before.
Papa Mike, I can take an approach.
I really have no idea what it's doing. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I have no clue. And honestly, I would like to land sometime today. So we're just going to do a 180 of our own accord and do this manually. Now, in the real world, if my GPS would have gone that far, I probably would have just said no, do manually and resequence the leg. But the GPS would not have done that like that in the real world. There are some issues with X-plane GPSs by default. You can work around some of these problems, but that's the risk that I took, deciding to fly the GPS on this approach. That's fine. Everything I did was still legal, although not ideal. That's fine. I'm going to activate the next leg. Activate the leg to Morro Bay, menu activate mode. Very good. Now, I'm somewhat confused as to why there is a line slope indication on this approach. Fairly confused by that, to be entirely truthful with you. I'm just heading back over here a little bit. No idea why that's there. Not in the slightest. Actually, I do know why it's there. Notice how we have LNAV plus V on our GPS. This particular procedure has an advisory vertical guidance, which will be nice and get down to the runway. So we will fly that advisory vertical guidance as long as we can. I'm going to add a little power to help us get to that final approach course a little bit quicker. course is 087. Load that in right here. Okay, good. My current heading is showing 145. Showing about 135 on that one down there. So I'll need to make a quick look at that. I'll adjust that in a minute. I'm okay with that for right now. The autopilot would disconnect if I had to do that, and that would just be a little bit ugly, so I'm going to leave it there for right now. I can see that my airplane is flying perfectly fine. I don't want to mess that up. Cross-track error is 1.2 miles. Staying closer. I'm all about that. Also need to start my descent down to 2,800. Let's get on down. 500 feet per minute. I'm okay with that idea. We'll power back. Gotta come on down. Approach forces coming in. We'll start our time. Did not go in that direction.
Three Papa Mike, center maintain 8,000.
I'm liking that. We're going to go to nav mode. GPS steering, let it fly that force inbound for me. There's 3,000, upper 2,800. Now I could hypothetically stay here at 3,000 with the glide slope to intercept. That's totally acceptable. However, I'm going to do it from 2,800 because I was not expecting it to be here in the first place. I don't want to let the sand mess me up again. So I'm not going to do that. There's the altitude. We'll level off right there, add a little power. Very good. Now, for anybody who's wondering,
Class Delta below in
well, hey, why would I use a sim if it's got some weird GPS glitches with it? And the truth is that these are few and far between. They don't happen in every single flight, and it's usually on these complicated ones that I do where you might have something funky go on. There's also plenty of modifications and additional downloadable software that you can use to make better GPSs. So this is just the default one. This still does a fantastic job for keeping you ahead of the airplane and good and excellent at IFR flying. If you have to deal with one or two little glitches because it's a computer game, that's okay. I'll tell you something. This quote-unquote computer game has trained a ton of excellent pilots. So it's not really a game, it's a simulator. It's a great one. You just gotta know how to use it. That's the trick. You just gotta know how to use it.
That's 3 Papa Mike, at airport 2 o'clock, 1-3 miles.
Alright, approach mode is armed, glide slope is armed. So we'll let that follow it on in. I'm going to switch my heading. I'm showing on a heading of east right now. So that should fix that. Excellent. After Morro Bay, I can send down to 1,700. A little bit off course to the
7 Sierra Papa, connect San Luis Tower 124.0.
24 nothing. 7 Sierra Papa day. Vector after machine there ready to go. Tower 3 at 7 Sierra Papa's over Morro Bay on the VOR.
387 Sierra Papa, San Luis Tower, keeping circle south of the field and our left downwind. Runway 29er, And runway 29 clear to
So
land.
south or left downwind, runway 29 clear to land. We're 705. There it is. Glide slope's not coming in. Not sure why it was even showing up in the first place. That's okay.
613 Papa
Vertical
Mike,
speed
Bullet Airport
down.
now off your right wing,
Let's go
clear 9
600 feet
miles.
per minute. Looking for 1700.
613 Papa Mike, LA Center.
Landing lights on. Strobes are on. That's 2,700. Then for 1,700. After that, the minimums are 1120. It's looking very good. So let's do my map. Should see a circling area on there, but I don't. That's okay. There's 2100, looking for 1700. There's 2000, got 300 feet to go. I've got to stay within 1.3 miles of the runway on this circling approach. There's 1800. And altitude there. Just lower power. Level it off momentarily. And then we're looking for 1100. Starting now, vertical speed, let's go down at 800 feet per minute. Make sure we get power on back. One mile to the runway, 500 feet to go, a little bit high. Looking for the field. Half a mile to go, 0.7. Getting close. And there's the minimums, there's the field in sight. We've got it in sight. We'll go ahead and circle. Disconnecting the autopilot. We're going to add power, 2300 RPM. We're going to level
Short
here.
final runway
We're gonna join
07.
downwind for runway 29. Now I will advise that circling on a simulator is very challenging. Very challenging indeed. Having to really kind of use some creativity to see the runway. Power off 180, there's power coming back. Flaps to speed looks good. Go ahead and turn base. A little slow, it's okay. I'm going to add flaps 300.
500.
Temperature's a little bit tight here. That's all right. It's kind of, you can't really see the runway in the sim that well, so I'm having to do quite a bit of guessing. You can zoom in on the ForeFlight, that helps some. So do forgive the disgusting looking circle here. There we go, there's the runway. Perfect. And we stay within our 1.3. Excellent. A little slow, add some power. We're coming on in. Speed looks good. Bringing the power on now. Runway's made. With crosswind, we'll straighten it on up. Try to get over that center line best we can. A little crosswind correction. And there we go. And we land. Bit of a planter, but we got the job done. Get a taxiway center line. And we'll take the first one here to the right. good. And Tower 37, Sir Papa is clear. Taxi to the FBO straight ahead.
Sierra Pop, Roger. Alpha to the ramp. You can remain this frequency. See you.
Alpha to the ramp, this frequency, and I appreciate it. Good to see you too. 7 Sir Papa. We'll just take this one right here. Head on into the ramp. And we'll stop the airplane right over here. Excellent. All right, parking brakes set. After landing checklist, all that kind of stuff, lights, all good. Let's turn off our mixture. And avionics first. There we go. And we'll kill the battery. Excellent. So that's our flight, full flight from Santa Barbara originally to Santa Maria. Missed approach. You can see right there where the autopilot did some really interesting, questionable things trying to get us on that approach. But we said, hey, we're not going to let it bully us. We went to heading mode. Flew manually in the VOR for a while. Then it started working again. Flew this approach. For some reason, the GPS and autopilot also decided to give us some sort of weird extended procedure turn. I wanted to see what it would do so we continued doing it. However, in the real world, I would have turned after a minute and just cycled it manually. I was kind of just interested to see what it would do. And then we flew this all the way in. It looked pretty good. Did not see the runway until the very last second. About maybe, say, quarter mile from the missed approach point. But we did see it. We did circle. We did land. Overshot final just a little bit. It's kind of hard to do a circling approach in the simulator, but we did what we did. So that's the flight. Hope you enjoyed it. And check out the rest of my videos on YouTube at Toby Rice CFI. Also on TikTok at Toby Rice CFI. And you can visit my website for IFR mastery training for owner pilots at TobyRiceCFI.com. We'll see you there.